Okay, so let's get started on this install now. Again, this style of seat is the 40-20-40 on the front seat. This is the crew cab, so the rear seat back there. I have installed the seat covers on this passenger seat right now, and then we're gonna get the covers on this driver over here, and then the first thing I'll actually show you how to do is this 20 section with the headrest, backrest, and bottom. And then after that, I'll show you how to do that rear seat back there. And we'll go from there. Again, it's gonna be a nice looking set. Black insert, black genuine leather insert, and a gray vinyl trim. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is pop both headrests out of, well, all your headrests out, but starting with this 20 section here. And on these, they pop out pretty easy. You just have to depress that side button right there, and then they pull out. So I've taken the driver headrest out and also the 20 section headrest, and we're actually going to install these inside on the carpet because you need to really compress these down to get these headrest covers on, okay? And when you grab the headrest covers, they're all identified. They do have an identification code on the inside of them, and there is a little instruction booklet that identifies which piece goes to which. So if you're wondering if you have the right headrest cover, just check your sheet there, check the identification code. Okay, so we're gonna do the driver headrest first. These are very tight covers, so hopefully these tips here help you. First thing I'm gonna do is fold the cover partially inside out, okay, like that. And there's two sections. There's a single clip right here, kind of a straight clip, and then the back side has a J clip. And the J clip is kind of this curved clip right there that curves into a J. They're gonna attach together here in a second once I get these on. Now the straight clip, that's gonna be the front side of your headrest. So I'm gonna take the headrest. This is the front up here, so then I can orient that. And then what I'm gonna do now is start to work this on. And really the best way to do it is by taking the headrest, and again with it folded out part way, I'm gonna take the headrest and put it in one corner in right there, and then I'm gonna be able to pull on this other side while I compress down on this, okay? And again, these are super tight headrests, or headrest covers. So this has been the best way I've found to do these. Okay, so compressing like that. And then pulling up. And once you get enough onto one side, then you can go work the other side. Again, you gotta compress that cushion, that headrest cushion down quite a bit. Okay, so you can see I have that one on enough that it's holding by itself. And now what I'm gonna do is flip it around, go to this other side and do the same thing. Compressing down, and really I'm using this, like my right thumb here, to compress the headrest cushion while I pull over with my other hand here. Okay, now that I've worked that one on a little bit more, I'm gonna flip it again. Okay, I'm gonna flip it again here. And we're just about ready to unravel this and go around the edges. Okay, so now that I got it right about there, I'm close enough that I can just flip this over right here, and then finish this out right here by folding that over. Okay. Now that we have it folded over, you want where it's curved right here towards the J clip, that needs to be right against the headrest post. So I need to shift this all forward a little bit more. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of do this technique where you kind of roll the headrest down like that, and now that's positioned. These headrest posts are right next to that curved section next to the J clip. Now I'm going to take this straight portion of the clip, and then we got to stick that into the J clip here. And that can be kind of tricky too, but if you line them up right next to each other, and then push it in like that right there. Okay, so that went in pretty easy for me. Now one trick is if it's not going in and it's really tight for you, one thing you can do is take the J-clip, and if it's really tight, you can take your install tool that's in the seat covers in the kit here, and you can kind of open that J-clip up a little bit more like this. And I'm just kind of pushing my tool in there and then twisting, and that'll help open up that J-clip, okay? So here's that front headrest. That's all done now. Looks really nice. So it's all good there. Let's do this 20 section headrest as well. So sometimes these small ones are even harder because you don't have as much room to stretch it, but we'll try the same technique here. Okay. So I know that this side that curves down is the front of the headrest right here, okay? And so I know that J-clip needs to be towards the back and that straight clip down here towards the front. So that's, I got that oriented like that right now, okay? So, I'm gonna try to get this around here. Again, it really helps having these on a hard surface like this carpet to be able to pull these on. If you try to do this in the truck or on your seats in the truck, it just makes it a lot more difficult, because when you try to compress the headrest cushion, they don't compress as well. Okay, so we're getting this rolled up and over. I got the front on okay, but now I'm trying to get this back rolled over. I'm too far forward with the cover right now. You kind of see that, how the whole thing is shifted forward right there. I got to get the whole thing to shift back now. And probably the best way to do that is just by taking the whole cover and shifting it backwards like that. And you just take your hand, just roll it like that, and it just moves towards the back as you do that. And just do that multiple times until you get the whole cover shifted. Okay, now we're starting to get really close to where we need to be. Again, we're going to do the same thing where this J-clip needs to be really close to these headrest posts. So I still got to come this way more. Okay, perfect. So now you can see that those headrest posts are right down here next to that J-clip. Now I'm ready to put this clip together right here. And I'm just going to take that straight plastic and it's going to stick into that J-clip. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that one looks good there. That's the 20 section headrest all finished out. Looks nice. Okay, so those two are done, and now that's going to be the same principle that you're going to do on all the headrests throughout the vehicle, and they're all going to have those J-clips, and the passenger headrest is the same, and those rear headrests are about the same as this as well. So the next cover that we're going to do is the 20 section bottom. This is a bottom storage 20 section here. So the cover will look like this right here. Again, they're all labeled on which ones go to where, but we're going to undo these knots that it comes with right here, and then slide that over, and then just tie this together right here. It's a pretty simple cover. It goes on top right there. So this is what I recommend here to install this section, is I tied a loop in one end right there, and then with the other end I pulled it tight. And if you need to get it a little tighter, what you can do is kind of pull on this one and then pull the slack out and then tighten it up right there like that. And then what I'm going to do is just tie this off now. Okay, so that's all finished there. I tied it up and just took the extra and just tucked it underneath right there. You could cut it if you wanted, but I just left it here and just tucked it up underneath. And now so that still locks down right there, and that's all good there and looking really nice. Now we're gonna do this 20 section backrest right here, and what you need to do on the cover is just open up all your Velcro pieces, also undo this zipper right here, and then you're gonna actually pull the cover underneath this seat belt. Make sure you don't go over the seat belt, okay? And then you're gonna pull it underneath and then start to pull it over and on, and then we're gonna do these 2 headrest sections right here. I'll show you how to do those in a second, and start fastening on the Velcro. So I have this cover on most of the way now, and I need to do these 2 headrest posts here, so I was gonna show you how to do that, but just to show you how much I have on, I do have the Velcro right here just lightly done. I may tighten that up later, but that's just gonna hold the cover up for now. I have not done these back Velcro pieces yet. But I have done this zipper. I did zip that up right there, so that goes around the seatbelt section right there. And now we need to do these. So what you're gonna wanna do with these headrest posts is you need to take your trim tool, this black plastic tool right here, and you're gonna work that around and get that tucked underneath. It's a little difficult to do with one hand as I'm filming right now, but you're gonna take that plastic tool and trim that around so then that plastic pops out right there. That's really the best way to get those to finish out. So those headrests, and all the headrests for that matter, should look like this when they're finished. You're gonna take that trim tool and just work it around, and it's a lot easier on this. This vinyl has a lot more stretch to it. When you're doing it on the driver and passenger seats and also on the backs where there's that insert of genuine leather, it's a lot harder and you have to stretch that leather a little bit more. But this one there's a lot more stretch to it, so super easy to pop those over. So the last step is going to be just attaching on the Velcro back here, and that's about how it should look right there on the sides, and then also just making sure that Velcro up here is finished right there. And so then that's the 20 section backrest, so that's all done. So that still allows for access to these storage compartments here, so you can still use those, and those are all going to be uncovered since it's hard plastic up there. No cover needed for those, and all that cloth is covered now. So the next section we're going to do is the driver backrest section here, okay? And I do have this cover right here. So there's the backrest section, and there's Velcro, felt Velcro down here at the bottom, and then here's your hook Velcro right here. So that whole thing's going to pull over and then attach down. Now one thing you need to do is there's these flaps on the back side of your seat here, and you need to reach underneath the seat, and there's these elastics that are hooked up, and there's just a little plastic hook underneath there. You just reach underneath and you just pull it out, pull it off of it, and so it starts like that. You just reach underneath, unhook them, and then what we're going to do is we're going to push that up, and as we pull over the new cover, this is going to stay up, and that new cover is going to have a new flap for that section, so that one's just going to stay up right there. One thing I like to do is turn the cover partway inside out like this. That gives me a little bit more to hold on to as I pull down, and I'll just be able to pull that down as far as I can up until it meets the shoulders, and then I'll unravel that a little bit more. Now you may be wondering, why is there a slit here? That slit is actually for the airbag cable, which is a yellow cable. So as you're pushing that down, just watch out for that cable, and this will go on the outside of the cable, and this stuff is on the inside of the cable. So now it's time to do the headrest post sections right here, and you're gonna want to get it to finish out like this, like I was showing earlier. And on this genuine leather, this perforated leather, it doesn't stretch as much as that vinyl, so you will have to stretch it a little bit more, almost to the point of kind of tearing it. And so you just want to be careful as you're doing that. Just take your time tucking it in, and once you get like one side tucked in, you can kind of push that underneath and then be able to kind of stretch it to the other side. And again, you want it to finish out like that, where even if you did stretch it and tear it, you want it just to be minimal so then it doesn't show up outside of that headrest right there. Here's just another little visual on this going around. I got it about halfway done right now. You can see it stretching pretty tight right there, but we're gonna be able to just finish this out, and maybe I can do it with one hand. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so now that tucks up underneath there and looks really nice. So that's how those should finish out. We're gonna pause on the backrest for a second and actually do the driver bottom, and that's because that back felt would cover the section where it needs to push through. So we're gonna pause right there, put on this driver bottom. Now, if you have a Toyota Tundra that I'm doing here with the manual seat that has a lumbar adjustment knob right here, then you're gonna need to remove, so it's gonna look like this here. You're gonna need to remove that. And to get that off, you can look up more videos on how to get this off, but really there's a little clip on the inside right here. And that little clip, you need to push it up, kind of reach in there, push it up, and then get a flathead screwdriver, and you're gonna take that flathead screwdriver and you're just gonna pop that clip off, okay? And then once that clip's gonna pop out, make sure you don't lose it. Hold on that clip, that little metal clip's gonna pop out, and then you can pull this out right here, and then this seat cover is gonna have a hole punched out of it right there that's gonna go on there. And then to put this back on, you're just gonna put that clip back in it right here like this, and then you're just gonna push it back in. Okay, since it's rounded right here, it'll just push in like that. But to get it off, again, you can't just pull it out. You need to take the screwdriver in and pop that off right there, or pop that clip off to get this off here. Okay, so now we're gonna fit this cover over. There's gonna be a string that's gonna go around the outside, and it's gonna tuck into this section right here on the outside. And then on the inside here, this string is just gonna go around the outside of this seat belt right back there, and those two are gonna tie off to each other. And then there are gonna be buckles and straps underneath the seat that are gonna attach to each other to keep it down tight. So I have the cover pulled through on the back side right there, and now what I'm doing is I'm tucking in the side material right here before, and this string is gonna go down in between the seat cushion and this hard plastic, pass in on the inside of that, and then tie off. And also here's that hole there for that lumbar cutout. I'm gonna tuck all that fabric underneath there so it's looking nice and flush, and using this tool here to tuck all that in. Okay, so now we've tucked in this extra fabric right here. You can see how nice that finished out right here on the front side, and that's tucked around there. Now it's time to pass this string down. This string again tucks in between the seat cushion and the plastic right there, and it should pass through right to here. See that down at the bottom, and that string's then gonna pass down, and then I'm just gonna kind of tuck that in and tuck these other pieces in to kind of hide that, and then this string's gonna go on the back side and tie off to the other string. Also at this point now, I can take the lumbar control knob here and get this stuck back on here. It helps if you kind of pop that spring up a little bit right there. Okay, we're gonna just put that on, and then there it is. It went on so easy, I didn't even realize it went on for a second, but now it's on. I can't pull it back out, and we're gonna get good to go on that. Now it's just time to do the strings and the straps underneath, and then the driver bottom will be done. Now we're tying off the string on the back side. You're gonna wanna take one of the strings here, tie off a loop right there, and then the other one you're gonna pass through. And where I'm going with this one is right above, right up here. And it goes around the outside of the seat belt, and then I'm gonna come up on it right there, like that, right there, and that helps it from catching. And so then we're just gonna take that and then tie that off right there, and then these straps to buckles are gonna go over the top of it to kind of hold that string up. So that bottom section is all done now. I've taken those buckles, or the straps went up to the buckles with them, and that string is hidden underneath that now. And one other little tip when you're doing that bottom section is to take one hand over your chest and lay on this and kind of compress the seat down as you're tightening. And that helps take out the slack and also doesn't put too much pressure on the buckles and strap as you're doing that. That's really the best way to do it. So compress here, or again, lay on it and kind of then take your other hand and tighten it down. Now the next step is we're going to finish out this backrest here. Pull this down, attach the Velcro up, and then do that flap on the backside. Now that I've pulled this down the rest of the way, I need to, and pulled this flap through the front of the seat, we're going to take this Velcro and attach it onto this Velcro right here. And so you just want to make sure you pull that nice and tight and then stick it onto that Velcro. And here's that airbag cable I was talking about earlier, and there's that slit right there for it. So you just need to make sure that's what's going in there. And then we're going to stick that Velcro up. And then what we're going to do is the back side here, this flap, this is the new flap I was talking about. There's S hooks. So you're taking an S hook and connect that up and then put that underneath the seat there. So here's these S hooks now that we've attached that Velcro underneath there. Now we're ready to put this flap up. And again, S hook right here, and then you're just reaching underneath, and then you're gonna hook that onto a spring underneath there. There's these kind of curved springs underneath the seat that you can hook these onto. Make sure you're wearing eye protection as you're doing that as well. That's the best way to make sure that these S hooks don't flip back and hit you in the eye, okay? So that wraps it up for the driver bottom section there, and the driver bucket is all done because I already showed you how to do that headrest. You can put your headrest back in now, and the driver bottom looks really nice, and backrest looks great. So you're just gonna repeat those same steps for that passenger side over there. And now we're gonna move on to the rear seat. Now we're working on the back seat here, and I already did the 40 section, that section over there, that one's complete because it's gonna be the same steps. And the more difficult one is this 60 section right here. Now the first thing you're gonna wanna do is obviously remove the headrest. We did that already, and I showed you how to put headrest covers on. But down below, what you need to do to get this set up is, I'll show you down here, there is this ring, little ring right here that is holding on these elastics. And that is holding on a section of the seat that needs to be removed for you to be able to get the seat cover around. So all you need to do is take a needle nose plier and take your pliers up here, and you're gonna grip onto there. I'm just using one hand, so it's a little difficult for me right now to do this while filming. But you're gonna take that and you're gonna twist it. Okay, and you see how I starting to twist that? Okay, and you're just gonna twist that off right there, and then you can take your ring out. You won't need that again because that is just a felt flap that's holding up the back side of the seat, and that felt flap is gonna get tucked into the new seat cover. So there's 4 of them underneath this 60 section seat right here. So remove all 4, and then there's 2 of them underneath that 40 section that you're gonna need to remove as well. Okay, so for this 60 section backrest, you're gonna need to undo the zipper, undo the Velcro down at the bottom, and then pull it on the inside, so underneath this seatbelt right here, okay? So the seatbelt will be over it, over the seat cover, and then you can start fitting this seat cover on. Then we're gonna do the headrest sections next after that, and then start attaching on the Velcro and do up that zipper in the back. So I have these headrest pieces done now. Now next thing I need to do is push that Velcro through, and one other thing I have done is there's Velcro in here that you need to pull this armrest. There's a hole there that you open up, and then pull that through right there, and then attach the Velcro back together on the back side right there, okay? So you just gotta kind of pull that up as far as you can go, and then stick that Velcro down to it, and that'll create the inside of that armrest section. Now we just need to stick this Velcro down around the back side. The other thing we're gonna do is zip up that zipper on the back side too. Now I'm gonna do this zipper on the back side right here, zip that up, and then grab that felt right here. Now this is the felt that is the original felt, okay? And this needs to go underneath the new cover. So that's going to go underneath, and the new cover is going to go over on top of it. Kind of hard to do with one hand here, but it's going to go over the top like that. Okay, and so you're going to do that for both sides there, and then that new Velcro is going to come up underneath and attach onto this right here. So one little tip as you're finishing up this section right here is you need to make sure that the cover has gone on the inside of that. Initially it was catching right there and it was bunching up real bad and I couldn't pull it back far enough. But you want to go on the inside. There's like this little hinge right here for this armrest, and it was catching on both sides. So just make sure that you're going on the inside of that, and then the cover's tucking in right there. Okay, so it's gonna give you enough slack to do that. Now that's pretty much it for the 60 section backrest. Hold this down here so you can see. So the zipper's done there now, and there's your cutouts for the child seat attachments, and the Velcro's all stuck up together back on this back side here now. So for this armrest cover, you just open up the Velcro, pull it over the top. Okay, this is the outside section with this little handle thing. And now this raw edge is actually going to tuck underneath the plastic, so I still need to do that. And the other thing I need to do is take this Velcro right here and attach it to this Velcro right here. So that armrest is done now. I use that plastic trim tool here, again, just to tuck that in around those plastic edges, and then connected up that Velcro here and brought it around and right there, and that's where it attached. Okay, so that section's all done. The 60 section backrest is all finished up there. Now we just need to do the 60 bottom. So the 60 section bottom is going to be much easier than the backrest. There's two strings, or well, one string on this end here and then one on the other end, and that's going to go underneath the seat and tie off to each other. And then there's these straps here, straps that go up to the front buckles to cinch it down tight. So really you just fit it over there and then kind of tuck this side end right here, tie it right there, and then the strings are going to tie on and do up your straps, and we're going to be good to go. This is the cutout here for the seat belt right there, so just make sure that is oriented right over the seat belt section. So a few tips as you're installing this 60 section bottom. It does help as you're pushing this down to take the seat and adjust it down like this part way, the backrest down part way. That way it gives you a lot more space right here to pull that seat cover in. If not, you're running against that bar and you're hitting your hand on that bar, it's just kind of annoying. So really just adjust that seat down right there. It gives you a lot more space there, okay? And then the other little tip here is as you're tying off this string down below, so I'm going to tie a loop in one side, and then the other one I'm going to come around it and then tie it off. Okay, that helps you kind of tighten this up. And you want to pull this snug, but not too tight, because it is possible to rip the string if you pull too tight on it. Just pull it till it's snug, and you'll be able to feel it as it kind of snugs up. Okay, so that's it for the 60 section bottom. You just take your strings underneath and your straps, just kind of tuck them up underneath the seat onto a spring, just to keep them off the floorboards. The other thing is you can finish this out right here. Take your tool. You wouldn't have to do this, but it's just a nice little touch if you tuck that underneath the plastic. Again, it's functional without doing that, but if you can tuck it underneath, it's kind of nice. Okay, so that's all good there, and we are all done with that install. Good job. If you're doing this on your own vehicle, feel free to contact us if you have any questions.